Hey guys, it's me, Ashley. I wanted to go live with you tonight. Surprise! Out of nowhere, because I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things. Mainly the scale. So I've seen a lot of you guys posting, about your weight, and you may have lost a lot in the beginning, and then maybe your weight loss has kind of like fluctuated. And I just wanted you guys to know, hey guys, hey Melanie, hey Jennifer, I just wanted you to know about something about the scale, that this is what can cause people to completely give up, and then or they let it get in their head so that when you don't see like the progress that you want to see on the scale, you think nothing is happening, and so it can cause you to then say, well, if this isn't working anyway, I'm just going to cheat over the weekend or do whatever, and it doesn't matter anyway because it's not doing anything, right? So that is where the scale can be really, really damaging. It's incredibly motivating in the beginning if you are one of the lucky people who get started on ketogenic meal plan and then start losing a lot of weight really fast. And I've seen the pictures that you guys have posted of your results and the transformations of like your stomach area, like the first couple weeks into keto is really, really incredible. And part of that is because you have so much inflammation and so many like toxins, and we keep it all in our midsection. And so when you get started on keto, one of the reasons you have this keto flu is because your body now is changing and is turning into becoming like a fat adapted metabolism, and you're starting to release a lot of the toxins that's been stored in your fat cells, and it's been keeping you bloated. And there's a lot of water that we store in our cells, and that is all inflammation. And so when you get started on keto, you can see like a huge drop in your weight really quickly, and it feels good. Like you start feeling better, your clothes starts fitting better, and you can tell you're losing inches and you're feeling really good, and it's motivating. And the scale at that time is very, very motivating. But what I want you to understand and grasp from this whole thing is that it's not going to continually go like straight down your entire journey. Like, it took a lot of time for you to put this weight on, for your body, like, and especially if you gained your weight through pregnancy, the pregnancy, that's a long time to be putting on this weight. So to expect it all to just come off like quicker than you gained it is like crazy. It's not going to happen. Even though it would be amazing and it would be awesome, and you see that right away, most of the time. A lot of people do. And when a lot of people see it and some people don't, they feel like there's something wrong with them when there really isn't. This plan is not a quick fix thing. Like, it's not something you just get started on to lose weight quickly, and it's not something that's going to cause you to lose all of this weight and then gain it right back. That is not the goal of keto. The goal of keto is for it to be a lifestyle change for you and to help you lose weight in a way that is not painful. Like, it's an easy method to follow because you are eating healthy fats. Hey Brittany, hey Stephanie. You're eating healthy fats, and you're giving your body the food and the nutrition that it needs, and you're breaking that cycle of eating low calorie, low fat, where your metabolism slows way down, and which leads to later on crashing, having cravings for things, falling off track, gaining the weight back, and that sort of thing, and having a hard time maintaining. Because what happens when you reduce your calories so much is your body says, we are starving, and so we are going to change your metabolism so your body burns less at resting. And so then as that happens, you need to now eat less and less food to then maintain. So with keto, you are changing this all around. You're changing, and especially if you came from a low calorie plan and you're switching over to this, your body now has to get used to the fact that you are building muscle if you're doing resistance training workouts, and that you're eating more calories, which your body is going to now say, wow, we are not starving anymore. Like there is so much food and there is a lot of fat here. And with all of this fat, I don't have to hold on to it. I don't have to store it anymore. And we can start burning the fat. And so it's an amazing, amazing thing. But I want you to understand the scale is not going to fly down for everyone. Some people see really fast drops and they drop really quickly, and especially if someone has a lot of weight to lose and this is a huge lifestyle shift, and if they did not come from a reduced calorie meal plan prior to starting keto, those people will see like a big consistent drop in weight loss if they were prior to this eating lots and lots of heavily carbed but also heavily fatted foods and storing a lot of weight. So that is where you cannot look at your journey as the same as someone else's journey, and you cannot compare yourself really to anyone else because you are an individual and you are completely different. And this is where we say, hey Ashley, hey Christina, this is where we say you need to learn to listen to your body, because your body is what is going to tell you what it needs and how much it needs. And so a lot of you get caught up in counting calories and all of this, right? But if you can get out of the mindset of that, understand that your body is naturally going to bring your body into the correct balance that it's supposed to be. So like your body weight, maybe it's not your ideal fitness weight that you have in your mind that you want to be, but maybe that is not a healthy ideal for you. You know, maybe your body is happy at 140 pounds, but you want to be 120 pounds, right? But maybe that is your happy level with your body, and it's going to feel good for you at that level, and your body wants to be that level. But what I'm saying to you is, if you have a lot of weight to lose and or no matter how much weight you have to lose, really, the goal is to follow your body's lead and do not get obsessed or stressed out about the scale, because I can tell you, following this lifestyle is incredibly healthy for you in so many ways, that even if you lost nothing, by following this lifestyle, you are experiencing incredible benefits that you may not even realize or even know or even understand that is happening for you. But I can tell you, your body is changing and it is transitioning, and it may be slower than you want, but the scale is not going to tell you that you gained 5 pounds of muscle and you lost 3 pounds of fat, but it's showing up on the scale that you gained 2 pounds, right? We are women, okay? We are women, and we want to see a number that makes us feel that is what the number we want that we should see on the scale. And so it can get there. It can get in your head. And especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, 70, 100 pounds, and you know your goal is to lose 2 pounds per week, but you may be thinking, I want to lose 5 pounds per week, right? You want to speed the process up, but I'm telling you, don't speed it up. The slower your loss is, the longer your loss is going to stay with, the easier it's going to be to maintain your loss. If you lost all of your weight overnight, you would be able to gain it back overnight. That is just the reality. So it doesn't matter what meal plan you follow. If you're following keto, you're following any meal plan out there to lose weight, the goal is to lose about 1 to 2 pounds per week. Any literature that you look at will tell you that, okay? So, what's going to happen is with keto is you're going to see a fluctuation. This is the way it is. So don't think you're the only one that sees a drop in weight and then maybe it goes up a pound, down a pound, up 2 pounds, down a pound, stays there for like a little while, and then it goes down 2 pounds, and then you stay the same for a little bit, and then maybe you drop 2 pounds, but then you gain 1 pound. That is totally normal. Your body goes through different hormonal shifts throughout the month, different times of the month, different times of the day. You could wake up and then at the end of the day be 5 pounds heavier at the end of the day. That's why we say you need to weigh yourself at the same time per day, and if you are weighing yourself, and don't weigh yourself too often because it's not an accurate snapshot. For me, when I was on my big journey to lose 75 pounds, when I was on that journey, I only weighed myself when I felt thinner. Like, you can feel it. You can feel when you feel thinner. And I only did that, and I did that purposefully because I knew that my body weight was going to fluctuate, and it definitely did. It was never down, straight down to the bottom. It was never like that. I experienced plateaus. I went up, I went down, I went up, I went down, but there was always a downward trend. And that is the only reason I made it all the way to my goal, is because I made the commitment to myself that I was not going to let the scale determine whether or not I am making progress or not in my journey. I'm following what I know is going to get me the results. I feel amazing. I feel incredible on keto. I'm focused. I have so much energy. I'm never hungry. I sleep better. I feel better. It's just, I know that what I'm doing is right for my body, and you can tell, you can feel it. And so for me, this was the biggest thing, because so many times I wanted to say, why am I stalling out at this weight? Why am I not losing weight quicker? I see other people losing weight quicker than me, that sort of thing. And then it can cause you then to say, well, screw this. I'm going to have that cake after my dinner because I haven't lost weight in like 2 weeks, right? But you don't know what the heck is going on inside your body. Keto is incredible and is going to do some awesome things for you. If you can just stay consistent, stay off the scale. Like I said in the beginning, it's exciting, it's fun, it's motivating, and that is sometimes the push that people need to get them to take a step outside of what they are doing and really go all in with something, because that initial loss is very, very motivating for a lot of people. And so it can help them stay motivated to keep it going and keep that momentum going. But the moment that stall happens, which it happens for everyone, and I posted an image and it has an explanation of the different stages, from when you get started to a couple weeks in and 3 weeks in and a month in, and what happens with your weight. And you cannot expect your weight to be constantly going down. So if you expect that and you get on the scale and it is showing you something that is gonna make you unmotivated, what do they call it? The no way May? Is that what this month is? Well, I didn't even think about it for the topic of this video, but look, get off the scale. It's not going to tell you what you want to know. Make sure you keep your measurements. I suggest you weigh yourself like every 2 weeks to a month. Just don't take the scale's word for it. Just follow what you know, if you are doing things the right way. If you feel like you're not, if you feel like you're not making progress, then maybe you need to start tweaking some things, like looking at the dairy intake. Maybe try cutting out dairy for a day. Maybe you're eating too much cheese, even though you're staying within your ranges of everything. Possibly cheese is very, very high in protein, and as we all know, protein in excess can get converted into glucose, which is sugar, and it can affect some people the same as if they just ate bread, white bread. Okay, so maybe it's the cheese that is causing this stall out on you. So I'm not saying that you're not that absolutely there's nothing wrong with you being in a plateau. There are some times, in some situations, there are some tweaks that you can make to figure out if maybe there is something. Like if your plateau lasts longer than a month, then you want to really start thinking about, okay, my weight stalled for a month. If it's a couple days, seriously, that's normal. If it's a week, that's normal. If it's 2 weeks, that's normal. Your body's trying to find a normal balance. It's trying to find that happy center, where it's not stressed, it's not in a state of gaining or losing, and wants to find that happy balance. So if it's holding steady a little bit, that's okay, and probably a good sign that your weight loss is slow enough that it's going to last and it's going to be a forever thing. So just let it do its thing, let it happen. But if you in your mind, if you think that you may have some other reason that is causing you this, so you're tracking in the app, so everything's perfect, your calories are perfect, your macros are perfect, and you are concerned that you don't feel like any changes are happening within your body. And so if that is the case, then like I said, take a look at your dairy consumption, because it's very easy to get, and I'm guilty of this myself. And that is why I tell you this, because this for me, I'm doing a little experiment with myself, eliminating dairy, eliminating cheese, because I think I add too much cheese to every meal, and I don't know how much of it exactly is counted, and so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna try to cut out the cheese for a couple days and see what happens. It's hard because I love cheese, and it's one of the benefits of being on keto is being able to eat cheese, right? So I'm doing it, I'm checking it out, I'm seeing how I feel, but that is the whole point of this whole thing. It's to see how you feel, okay? So I want to see every single one of you that is in this group reach your ultimate goal. That is our goal here. That is what we want for you. Yes, love cheese. Everyone loves cheese. I mean, that's one of the draws to keto. So believe me, it's hard for me to cut out the cheese, but I'm doing it because I want to see. I want to see what's going on. I want to see if I am sensitive to dairy like that. I switched to vegan Shakeology, and today I had no coffee, no creamer, which is crazy. But I just had my what's it called? The Energized pre-workout from Beachbody. I had that this morning, and honestly, it was all that I needed. I didn't even need coffee while I was fasting. And so, I don't want to take up too much time on the scale, but I just want you guys to know that the scale could cause you, and if you're watching this now after you already gave up, after you saw a little stall on the scale, go back to it and give yourself a fighting chance, like a real chance. Like, give this thing like 3 months. Don't just say, okay, I'll give it 3 weeks. That is not going to get you there. Like, you need to commit. After that, if you didn't lose any weight, if you don't feel better, if you don't feel amazing, then maybe look into a different meal plan. But honestly, you have to commit to it, and you have to be serious, and you have to take it seriously, and you have to just know that the scale is screwed up. So get off the scale. And I have seen some insane transformations of people that weigh exactly the same, but their body composition has completely changed. And that is one of the amazing things with keto. You're eating so much more food because you really can. You can eat more food because when you're in a fat burning metabolism, your body burns more calories just to digest this food because it's not the preferred source of energy. Carbohydrates are. So to burn fat as fuel is more difficult for your body, so it burns more calories at resting. So that's where you can eat a lot more with this and still lose weight, which is incredible. But the other benefit to that is that your body composition now is getting out of the starvation, and you're able to build muscle, whereas before your body might have been like surviving off of your muscle. It may have been eating your muscle for fuel, but now your body is able to repair and build that muscle. And so your body composition is changing without you even maybe realizing it if you're just looking at the scale. So photos, like you say there, pictures, before and after photos, you need to take your measurements and take your batteries out of your scale and just promise yourself you're not even gonna, because like I said, I've said it before, you do not walk around with a scale on your forehead. No one knows what the heck your weight is but you. And so why do you care so much what it is? You should care more about the size of clothes you're wearing, how you feel in your clothes, how your clothes fits, if you have a muffin top, if those are the things that you should be more than the scale, okay? If it's about weight loss just for how you look and that sort of thing. So, okay, on to intermittent fasting, because I put this on here as an additional topic tonight. So if you are new to intermittent fasting, if you've never done this before, you definitely should try it after you get fat adapted and you've been doing keto for at least a week, maybe 2. Okay, because keto is going to help you follow an intermittent fast. And intermittent fasting, what that is, if you are completely new to this, it means you are following a window of time when you were eating all of your food. So you're not eating less, and we encourage you not to restrict your calories and do intermittent fasting at the same time, because you'll be absolutely miserable and you'll feel like crap by doing that, and it will make it really, really hard, and you're going to be hungry. So don't try to do low fat, low calorie and intermittent fasting. It's going to be hard, okay? So one of the benefits of eating the ketogenic way is that it's super, super easy to do intermittent fasting. And what intermittent fasting does is by taking the time that you eat all of your meals, and we say 3 meals, okay, so no grazing, no snacking all day long. You want to give your body time to digest the food that you eat so it can repair your cells, start making some insane, incredible changes for you in your life, start healing your body. And that is one thing. When you wake up in the morning, if you just start eating right away and start that digestive process, your body, and if you eat all day long, like if you snack and you graze and whatever, your body doesn't have time to make those changes, to repair those cells, to change, to heal your body. So like excess skin, stretch marks, those types of things. Like if your body is digesting all the time and it's focusing all of its energy on this enzyme going here and this going there, it doesn't have the focused energy to be able to heal the things in your body that need to be healed. And it's pretty incredible. It's even linked to being a natural antioxidant for you. Like it naturally is an anti-aging benefit. And so there are just so many incredible reasons why you should add intermittent fasting in when you get into that keto adapted state, which means your body is running on a fat fuel. You're eating fat to burn fat, and you can now target in your time that you eat your food within an 6 to 8 hour window. Some people like to fast a little bit longer as they get going, and that is okay. You can do that too. And like I said, you're not eating less food. You're not starving yourself. This is not anorexia. This is something that people have been doing for centuries. There are so many incredible health benefits to this. And all you do is, if you have your first meal in the or your last meal at 8 p.m., your first meal the next day is at 12 noon. If it's an 8-hour eating window, 16-hour fast. And so instead of eating at 8 a.m., you're eating at noon instead. And this seems hard and it seems impossible and it sounds like you're crazy, like fasting, oh my God. Like even if you would have asked me, I would have thought you would be absolutely nuts to be fasting. Like who the heck does that, right? But it's not hard on this. It's so easy. The first 3 days may be hard. They may be difficult just because you've never done this before and your body is used to when it gets its food. So it's going to tell you, hey, where's the food at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., and we tell you, listen to your body, except for the first 3 days of intermittent fasting. It's okay to try to get past that hunger by maybe having some coffee, as long as the calories of your intermittent fast stays below 50 calories total, 50. And that can even be your energized pre-workout, which is 15 calories, and you can even add half and half. There's a low fat half and half that actually there's no added sugar to that. And it has a lower calorie content, which works well for the fasting time. And so I prefer that. I think it's like 25 calories for 2 tablespoons compared to if you do heavy cream, it's 50 calories for 1 tablespoon. Okay, so that will throw you off if you're doing that. So if you want to get that kind of, if you want to get a creamer that is lower in calories only for while you are in the fasted state in the morning, if you want to add that to your coffee, go ahead and do that. Okay, so the bulletproof coffee, I suggest, and a lot of people suggest, not to do that during your fast because it's going to start the digestive process and it may even just make you hungry. Like if you're trying to fast with bulletproof coffee and you feel hungry after, it's because you started that digestion and your body now wants food. And so it's going to make it harder for you, and then you will never get beyond that, right? So bulletproof coffee is a meal. Like that is a meal. So you can do that as your first meal at noon. Bulletproof coffee, okay? But you have to think of it like a meal, and a lot of people don't like to just drink coffee for their meal, okay? So Tashira, you're gonna wake up starving. We're talking about the first 3 days. So this is assuming your body is adapted to, is in ketosis, following the ketogenic meal plan for a while, right? At least a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then if you wake up starving, like, and you're like really hungry, don't do it. Don't start it that day. Try it the next day, but make sure you're eating enough food at your last meal. And if you, like the carbohydrates that you eat throughout the day, it's suggested that the majority of the carbohydrates you eat are actually at the end of the day because your natural ketones are higher at the end of the day. So your body is going to burn through those carbohydrates a little bit differently than they would in the morning. So at the end of the night, you know, your last meal, and that's where I usually have my last meal at about 7 or 8 p.m. It ends at 8 p.m. And it's a big meal. Like I always have a big meal for my last meal because I know, okay, I'm intermittent fasting. And so I save the majority of the food that I eat for my last meal. And like it's basically my first meal and my last meal are my bigger meals. And then I have a smaller one in the middle. Usually my Shakeology is in the middle. So I do it that way specifically because then when I wake up in the morning, my body is still has that food, you know, from last night. It's still working through that, and so I'm not hungry, and it will happen. It will start happening naturally for you. So the first 3 days, like I said, your body's used to that clock. It's used to that schedule of you eating first thing, and so at first you may be hungry, and so, you know, I would suggest that you have some coffee. Like I said, you can use stevia. It's a good natural sweetener. Because that will fill your stomach with something warm, hot, and that can, you know, satisfy that for a while, just to hold you over to get you to 12 o'clock. The other thing, if you go for the intermittent fasting and it causes you to binge eat, then don't do intermittent fasting. Okay? And then, so the next part of this is after the first 3 days, it's going to be like a walk in the park. It's going to be so easy for you to do this. Literally, some days it'll be like 3 o'clock and I didn't even eat yet, and I can't even believe it. And I'm like, how the heck did I just go that long? I went a 24-hour fast once, which is insane. But people do that. People do 24-hour fast. They have one meal a day and then they don't eat again until that next meal the next night. And people do that like a couple times a week, 3 times a week or something, just to let their body heal from the digestion. They eat the same amount of food. They just have one huge meal. Anyway, I did that one time, and I could probably do it again. I just haven't, you know, really, because I like to eat, you know. So when my fast is over, I'm like, okay, I want a meal. But I want you guys to know, if the intermittent fasting causes you to have a binge, like it causes that psychological thing, like then you should not do it. You should listen to your body, okay? So like I said, after the first 3 days, get through those 3 days where you may be hungry, a little hungry. You're not going to be starving. Like, you're not going to be starving. This isn't something that like someone is not feeding you. This is something where you are in control. So you know at any time you can eat. So it's your control. So the first 3 days, while your body clock is getting changed, because now your body, you have to tell your body now, okay, food's not coming in at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 6 a.m. It's coming at noon. And then your body is smart, and it gets the hint. Within 3 days, maybe 2, it's going to say, okay, our first meal comes at noon every day. We're not going to produce the, the hormones and the whatever that causes the hunger signals, from the brain at 7 a.m. because food's not coming at 7 a.m. It knows, like it just knows. And so it says, okay, food comes at noon. So at noon we'll be hungry. And so then it will know. And then at noon, it will just be like as if you just woke up. I swear to you, it is like this. It's crazy how it works, but it does. So let your body get past the first 3 days of just being a little bit hungry in the morning. And then after that point, so we're talking after that point. After that point, we want you to listen to your body, because listening to your body is very, very important. So if you have been doing intermittent fasting, and you don't have to do intermittent fasting every single day, get past that point where your body clock can get shifted, and then try to go like 3 days intermittent fasted. But then if you want to do intermittent fasting 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, 7 days a week, whatever feels good for you, do that, because you will still get incredible benefits from doing it even just 2 days a week. You will. But I'm not going to lie, the moment you stop intermittent fasting, it's like you kind of have to start all over again with your clock, unless you go like a day, okay, or 2 days. Because usually with my intermittent fasting, I just do it. I follow my body's lead. If I wake up in the morning, I'm not hungry, I'm feeling good, I can make it till noon, I do it. And if I wake up and I do Body Beast and I'm feeling hungry at like 8 a.m., I will have breakfast and I will eat and I will just, go on with my life, and it's perfectly fine. And so it's not something you want to force on yourself. Like I don't want you to feel like you have to force this. Like it should be something that happens naturally, something that is easy to get into and feels good for your body, because like with keto, like I said, your body is satisfied and it knows that you are feeding it right and giving it the stuff that it needs to survive. And so it will get used to that smaller window, and you're going to start feeling great, and it's going to be awesome. So give it a try. Like I said, don't like force yourself. If you absolutely cannot do it, or if you have issues, like listen. Like the biggest thing, the most important thing of this whole thing is learning to listen to your body, and that is one of the amazing benefits of keto. It will teach you your hunger signals. You'll be able to tell the difference between emotional eating and hunger eating, and you'll be able to know when you need to eat, and your body will tell you. It'll say like, hey, we need fuel, we need something to eat, and when it tells you that, that's when you eat. So follow your body's lead. Don't take intermittent fasting too seriously. Don't think because you have a hard time doing it that it's all in or all out. It's really not. It's okay. Maybe one day you wake up and you're not hungry and you say, hey, I'm gonna try to go to noon, and you do that, and so that might work out for you, okay? And that might be your first fasted day. Just listen to yourself. So those are my tips on intermittent fasting, how to get started on it. Your first meal, some people like to have Shakeology for their first meal. I personally, I'm going to suggest for a first meal at noon. This seems to work very, very well. Is just having 2 eggs cooked in butter with 2 pieces of bacon and half an avocado. I've been doing that, and it's a great first meal, because some people can get in the habit of like really overdoing it, I guess, going the fasted, and then getting to their first meal and then just eating a ton, and then just kind of like, at the end of the day, they're like, whoa, I ate so many calories. And like I said, you don't necessarily have to count calories, but you have to be mindful of it, and you don't want to be just eating to eat. You want to eat to satisfy yourself. And that meal, because there's a lot of actually benefits in eggs that really helps your progress for weight loss, if that's your goal. So, and that's where, I don't know if you've heard of the egg fast. There's a whole fast that's just developed with eating eggs every meal. It's because of the balance of different properties of eggs that helps really with weight loss. So having 2 eggs, but eggs are high in protein, lower in fat. You want to make sure you add fat to that meal. You need to add butter to that. And that's just a great meal, because then you're going to be full. And then your second meal, have some Shakeology with 1 tablespoon of the MCT oil to get that. The MCT oil helps boost your ketone production to help you get into the ketogenic state, or have your bulletproof coffee then. Have your bulletproof coffee in your second meal. So, like I said, not in the fasted state unless like Tashira, oh my God, I can't believe I can't pronounce your name. I'm gonna see you in Summit. That's in July, and you're gonna tell me how the heck to say your name. It's like when we go for the Beachbody conference. I think I say it right, but I guess I don't. Anyway, like you said, if you wake up starving and you can't make it through the fast, some people will use that moment to say, okay, I'm going to go for the bulletproof coffee instead. And so they have their bulletproof coffee and that's their meal. So don't think of it like, okay, a bulletproof coffee and then some eggs and some bacon and all of this food. You know, think of it like, okay, if I want to attempt this fast, I can try the bulletproof coffee in there. It's going to break your fast. It is. It's going to break your fast because it's higher than 50 calories, higher than 100 calories. But it is packed with ketone producing fats, which helps your body get into ketosis, burn fat for fuel. And so that is something you can do if you absolutely cannot make it till noon. And so try that. Do that as your first meal, but remember that's a meal. It's a meal. It really is. It's like 400 calories. It's a lot. So that's a meal. And then, but like I said, if you can make it till noon, you can do the 16-hour or 11, you know, if you can't do exactly there. Then you want to, like I said, this is a really, really easy meal to just make, and it's going to help you, and it'll help you stay full and everything, is to go with the eggs and the bacon and the avocado. And then for lunch, Shakeology, or go for the bulletproof coffee if you want that. Or have a salad, have a really packed, really good salad. That's a really great lunch option. I really like, there's this frozen cheese steak. It's like a sirloin steak, but it's like made for cheese steaks at Costco. That's super easy to just throw in on the oven, and it cooks really nice, and you can put that on a salad. I love that. So that's that. And then for your dinner, you can have like steak with butter and some cauliflower and another veggie, something like that, or even another side salad or something, but definitely have a nice big dinner that's going to hold you over till your first meal the next day. Okay, so that's pretty much it for intermittent fasting. Keep being incredible. You guys are doing awesome. And yeah, so normally, like I said, for dinner, I do have a lot of steak, but I also will make burgers a lot. I do. I make a lot of burgers because it's a high-fat meat. It allows me to get in. I do like a grass-fed ground beef. You can make like a zucchini lasagna, but like I'm trying to cut out the dairy right now. So, I'm sticking with those type of meats. Chicken is very low fat, very high protein. It can get you into trouble if you eat too much chicken because it definitely can kick you out of ketosis if you're not careful. So those are typically my go-to, dinners. But we also order out a lot. We order from restaurants, and the chicken that we do get. Why am I cutting out dairy? I'm cutting out dairy because I want to see if my body is sensitive to the dairy and may speed up my weight loss if I'm not eating as much cheese, because cheese, like I said, is very high in protein. And so protein in excess, if it's not the thing is with cheese is it's easy to add a lot of cheese to what you eat, right? And so it can get out of control pretty quickly, and especially if you're eating, sour cream and then cheese and then more sour cream and more cheese, it can get out of control. And the thing is, every body is different, and I want to see for myself if maybe my blood sugar is sensitive to cheese, because the amount that I was eating a lot of cheese, and so I think cheese has a role to play in a lot of that, but you know, so I'm just doing kind of like a little experiment for myself to see if cheese is my problem. Nuts can also be a problem. If you have nuts, like I used to keep nuts in my refrigerator, and literally every time I would open my refrigerator for my kids' milk, I'm like, oh, some nuts, oh, some nuts. That can be a problem too, so don't do that. That's a big mistake. So yeah, if you hit a stall, take a look at your cheese intake. Possibly it's that. Try cutting the cheese back. Like I said, a stall is not a 2-week thing. It's not a 1-week thing. A stall is when we say over a month. Then there's probably something else going on. You want to take a look at things like at that point. So if you have hit a stall for a week, don't worry, you're in the clear. You're still doing great. If you hit a stall for 2 weeks, you're still in the clear. You're still doing great. Your body is probably building up incredible muscle and losing fat and changing your body composition and all of that. You hit a stall for a month, start looking into other things. Or if you just feel weird. Like for me, I just feel weird. Like I just feel like I think cheese is causing an issue for me. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to just give this a try, see how I feel and see how I do. And that is one thing where you just kind of need to feel out your body. And so I didn't really mean to cut out all dairy, but I just did. Today I just did. I just kind of did. Since I didn't have cheese, I was like, well, I might as well not have sour cream. Or I might as well not have the coffee with the creamer, because that actually just happened naturally. I just didn't have coffee because I had the Energize and I didn't need it. So what time do I have my second meal? I usually have my first meal at noon, my second meal at 3, and then my third meal at 7, stop eating at 8. That is usually what my schedule looks like. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys are doing awesome. Keep up the great work. I can't wait to see your results from this 30-day challenge. You guys are doing great. And so I will let you enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.